The Horseman's Corner is an original production of Howard Hale Broadcasting, on the air since 1994 with over 7,000 episodes with people involved in the world of horses. Today, the program is hosted and produced by Nelseena Lehmann and Brian Hale. Visit horsemanscorner.com for more, including longer interviews exclusive to the web, full archives, our own equine podcast search engine, made possible by Van Hargis Horsemanship. I'm Howard's son, Brian, and we welcome you to the Horseman's Corner. We'll be back with today's guest right after this.
I'd like to invite you to visit the website that we have for the Horseman. That's horsemanscorner.com. Good place to advertise, good place to go if you're looking for horse information. That's horsemanscorner.com.
I have with me today Bruce Keller on the Horseman's Corner. Bruce is from Wyoming. Bruce, tell me a little about yourself and what led you to your cow horse career.
30 years ago, I had a really good friend, my best friend ever, encouraged me to get started. I had grown up riding colts, starting colts, riding bucking horses and rodeos, was working on ranches, and Tom's influence kind of led me to start thinking about it. And in 1995, started preparing my first snaffle bit fraternity horse.
He was an incredible horse, but he wasn't the only one. There was another one not too far behind him.
Affectionately known as Geronimo around here, and he's still here. Flips S'more was his registered name. I received an outstanding compliment about him about 5 years ago from a guy that's become a good friend and a mentor, is Bill Riddle. I was at a clinic that he was doing, and this lady kept trying to get her horse to go stop the cow and then over-rotate just a little bit and stay too flat instead of staying up into the cow just a little bit. And Bill stopped her and asked her why she was doing it that way. She said because she thought that was easier for that horse to turn. And Bill said, well, ma'am, I've been around the cutting horse industry for quite a while, and I've only ever seen 5 horses that could do that consistently, and one of them lives at that man's house, and he pointed at me.
Secure and mobile friendly. Did you know that Google and other search engines will knock your ranking if your website is not secure and mobile friendly? If your site is not mobile or is missing the green padlock, give us a call. Our phone numbers and our contact form are on our website at agsearch.us. We've been helping people get found on the internet for over 20 years. That's agsearch.us. Visit today. Ag Search is back with a bold new look and even more reasons to get involved in this growing agricultural search engine. Ag Search is rural America's search engine. Our entire focus is on the great folks around the country, like the ones at the radio station, or the farmers, or the harvesters, the horsemen and women, and the livestock producers out there. Our job is to make connections, put people together, and we're doing that thousands of times a day on agsearch.us. Visit today, agsearch.us. And now, more on Geronimo with Nelseena Lehmann and Bruce Keller.
Well, Geronimo is an athlete, and besides that, he's just a cool horse. He's a nice horse. You let me swing a leg over him one time, and I was in love.
He was good for me, but he was bad for me at the same time. And I say that with respect to him. He's extremely talented, even at 20 years old. He was so talented that I didn't realize that every horse couldn't do what he could do. And I tried to train several of them in the same fashion that I trained him, and was frustrated because I couldn't get them to do what he could do. And I didn't realize at the time that he was that special individual. And I say that, but I'm riding 2 daughters of his right now that are going to be as good.
That horse was kind of an outcross, though. He was bred a little different, wasn't he?
Yes, his mother was by a son of Mr. Jet Moore, who was a son of Jet Deck. Sire was a horse named Flip Mia, who was by Colonel Flip, who was one of the good producing sons of Colonel Freckles, and his mother was a daughter of Docalina.
We get a lot of customers who need redesigns. We've got a couple adventure websites we'd like to tell you about. Sangre de Cristo Outfitters. It's a hunting operation in Westcliff, Colorado. And if you're looking for adventure in Yellowstone, it's Yellowstone Year-Round Adventures. If you need your website redesigned, you can trust the professionals to get your website redone. To get a quote on your next website redesign project, visit halemultimedia.com and click on Contact Us.
Anytime you have a judged event, it's a perspective.
Yes, but at the same time, there's criteria that it's incumbent on me as an official to know and understand the criteria and apply the score correctly when I see it happen. I was listening to an interview this morning. If you're afraid of what you're going to hear, don't ask the question, because he's going to tell you the truth. As long as you've known me, you know that I don't run a bakery. I don't sugarcoat much. And they asked him, what are the three things or three people that you look up to? And he said, God is number one. He said the second one is Popeye, and the third one is Barney Fife.
Okay, I'll bite. I can't put them all together.
Well, God, because he's God. Popeye, everybody that knows me, is I am what I am. That's what Popeye said all the time. And Barney Fife is every time things would start going haywire with things in Mayberry, Barney'd come in and say, Andy, we need to nip it in the bud. So I'm pretty good for doing that too.
Well, I'm going to add the fourth one. You have to be Tin Cup too.
Well, you have to not be afraid to. I guess to get to that point, you learn. I've never been afraid of trying to win first, and I guess that came from rodeoing for as long as I did, because when you nod your head on a bucking horse, you better be giving it 110% because that horse is. And if you don't want to be part of the arena, you better bear down. And I guess the way I looked at riding cow horses, once I became a little more polished, I was pretty rough around the edges for 5 or 6 years. But once Einstein started winning, and I knew then, and I learned more about where I needed to get and how I needed to do what I did, I could ask him for everything there was. Just like old Tin Cup, I wasn't afraid to keep swinging for the green that's too far to reach in one.
Well, you and Einstein sure showed me the value of the open field tackle. That's still one of the prettiest moves in the cow horse event, I think, and it says a lot for the confidence level of the horse you're riding, and it says a lot for the bond you have with him, because it's not just everyone you can ask that for. Well,
and those are the special ones that when you know that you've got that and you can ask for it. That's the fun one. I still do that today, even now that I ride more cutting horses than I do rein cow horses. I lost a cow Sunday at a cutting, mostly because I was trying to win first instead of just trying to stay in the cutting.
If you lose when you're giving your 100%, I don't know if that's ever really a loss.
Right. Well, and it's, there again, the horse I was showing that day, I knew that I could ask him, and he was giving it to me. I just asked a little harder than I needed to.
Oh, so even after 30 years, you still don't have it all figured out. That's kind of refreshing for the rest of us.
And that's the thing that I've learned about horses is I thought, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago that I had the program figured out and this is how it was going to be the rest of the time, and through conversations with people and watching other people and learning some more stuff as I went along, I learned that you have to, in this business, you have to stay humble and be willing to learn. I knew a long time ago that horsemanship was not a destination. It was a journey. It will never be complete. It will be as complete as you will allow it to become as long as you stay being a student.
I'd like to invite you to visit the website that we have for the Horseman. That's horsemanscorner.com. Good place to advertise, good place to go if you're looking for horse information. That's horsemanscorner.com.
We've run out of time for this segment of the Horseman's Corner, but we'll be back with more with Bruce Keller and Nelseena Lehmann on the next segment. You're listening to the Horseman's Corner.